Hi, all. This is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York, the home of, not the home of, but close enough to New York that I got to put my rally cap on for the Yankees to beat Houston tonight. Tanaka on the mound against Greinke. It's a winnable game. Tomorrow's game, less winnable, Verlander. Ooh. Well, in order for the Yankees to win, they have to beat either Verlander or Cole. They can't lose twice to each, then they would lose. So we'll see what happens. Okay, the reason I'm coming on Thursday night, but I normally don't, is because I have some interesting plays and some interesting theories about the market. A lot of analysts have turned, hey, go Houston, says Greg. Well, Greg, I'm a Met fan like you, but I root for all home teams. The interest, too windy. Yeah, it is kind of windy today, Greg. So a lot of analysts have turned very negative lately, except Dr. J. Dr. J is strongly optimistic that we will finally break above the recent highs and go zooming to all-time highs. It's going to be a long time in coming, and I think even the IWM and the RUT will catch up. So I'm very, very bullish. As I'm very, very bullish on Amazon. I think it's going to turn the corner. You root for Dr. J and the Mets. I like that, Greg. I also have some interesting little biotech to talk about. It's called RCell. It's a breakout stock. I'll show you the chart. I wanted to show the chart of Kronos the other night, and I kind of anticipated a run in it. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And let's get right to the video tapes or video charts, whatever you want to call them. But as always, let me remind you to do your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Neither does Greg's or any of the chat messages you see constitute any investment advice. Although occasionally I and my people that you see on the screen, like Greg, and we'll maybe get a few others, hopefully, although this is very much unannounced, they occasionally have some interesting plays. RCell is one that was alerted, let's say I was alerted to by a viewer. So, and Biopath, which we all made money on back in the day, not too long ago, it seems like a long time ago, but it was a few months ago, was given to us. So alerted, I should say, alerted by a viewer, JD from Dallas. JD, I'm calling for you. Where have you been, JD? I never tell them what to buy, only share info. That's right. That's absolutely right, Greg. Everyone has to make up their own mind and consult with an investment advisor, do their own due diligence. Let's see if we can be more successful sharing the screen tonight than last night. Oh, there we go. Come on, share screen. All right, it looks much better. There we go. We're sharing screen. Let's start with the Dow Jones Industrials. The Dow Jones Industrial averages are in a Zoom channel, what I call a Zoom channel. Now, the bearish chartists might say, well, we're having a spiral, a negative spiral, a bearish spiral. But when you're going like this, I don't care if ultimately we do get a pullback, and I'm sure we will, because this kind of slope is not sustainable forever, but it still looks like we're in this Zoom channel that we've been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. Can we stay in it for the rest of the month? I think we can, and if we do, we're going to be taking out these highs. So this Zoom channel is very powerful. And as long as we stay in this channel, I don't even care if we pull back to the lower part of the channel. That's okay, as long as we stay in that channel. If we leave the channel, then Dr. J's short-term thinking will be different. But right now, you got to just love it. And not only is the Dow like this, I can draw a similar picture for the S&P, for the RUT. I'm not sure about the NASDAQ. I haven't looked at that one. But I don't want to take too much time, so I won't. Let's go to two different pot stocks. Pot is hot today after being really, really bad, mired in a bear market, looking at 50, 60, 70% losses over the last few months. Very painful. Yesterday, after the close, Kronos Group went crazy on some sort of over 10, even over 11 in after hours. Even in pre-market, it was, this morning, it was in the 10s, opened in the 9s, and closed in the 8s. In fact, it had a rather ugly big red candle and was repelled by the 50. So I'm not overly exuberant, but I think it had to come down. So as long as it holds this upper trend line, I think we will test the 50 again. And I want to see that 50 change slope. So right now it's been nosediving down. This is a rather bearish looking chart, but I'm optimistic that we are going to see a V-type recovery, just like we have in some of the other stocks that have made similar recoveries. Just want to draw that, what I think is going to be a V-shaped recovery. So this is the beginning of the upward trend line. And this was the downward trend line right here. Perfect V. So we have a V-shaped recovery that's shaping up here, which would be very sharp, very sharp. And I could see Kronos Group going back to this, going back to the 100-day moving average up around 12.50, 12, almost $13 actually. So I could see a really nice run in Kronos Group along with the rest of the pot sector. There's another pot stock that's really a penny stock, not in the billions, a market cap like Kronos, rather modest market cap, CNAB. Its market cap is 32 million. That's like peanuts compared to Kronos, CGC, and et cetera, that are in 4 billion, 6 billion, all kinds of billions. So let's take a look at the screen here. It's with these little pot stocks that you have an opportunity to really get big moves in a single day. 17% today, for example. And what I really like about the chart is even though we have this ugly looking, oh, what happened? I was trying to move it a little bit and it got messed up on me. I don't need the Dow anymore. Take that out. I'm going to take a look at us on YouTube. I just want to see what's going on. All right. I guess it's okay. Is it okay? No, I don't see the screen. Now maybe I have to play it. Yeah, now I see it. Cabinet guy is on. How you doing? Single cab Steve. Nothing but good news for Gurn. Still a firm long. I'm with you, Steve. I'm going to be back in Gern one of these days. Linus Chester, make us rich, says Linus. I would love nothing more than for all of us to do well in the stock market, to be smart pickers, to know when to enter, when to exit, and so on. Snaid, ARWR to run more tomorrow. I'm loving it, Snaid. I don't talk about ARWR too much, but I'm in it. You got to be in it to win it. I'm in ALNY as well as ARWR. I think those are my main gene editing stocks, along with Voyager Therapeutics. I was in Sarepta, but I'm no longer in that one. I do like these gene editing stocks. CEO was on Mad Money tonight, says Snaid. All right, let it run. Let it run to 100. It may very well. It might make 100 quicker than ALNY. I bought both at around the same time. I think I paid 80 for ALNY, and it's still 80. And I think I paid 20 or less for ARWR. And now what is it, 36, something like that. Anyway, thanks for filling me in about that news, Snaid. Cabinet guy, my Red Sox long might have been a clunker idea. Well, wait till next year, as we like to say in baseball. All right, so the Yankees have a tough team. I mean, I don't know what Boston needs to beat them. They are tough. Okay, so what was I talking about? I got distracted. I'm sorry. It's easy to get distracted. We broke out of this consolidation that's been going on since 7/1. That's July, August, September, part of October. We've been doing nothing but go down with a little upward movement in between, normal stock market stuff, but basically down. And notice we started a rounded bottom, not a V-shaped bottom, but a rounded bottom. And we broke out today. We broke out with a big green candle to 38.19 on the close. Very, very nice. And look at the support at 31 cents. You just got to love it. 1, 2, 3. I mean, a million hits at 31 cents. It seems like 31 cents is really a tough support area. And that was the time to add to my position. I am long CNAB. Most of the stocks that I talk about, I do have a position in, but not all. The next one I wanted to talk about. So am I buying more? I would wait for a pullback to about half of this green candle, say 36 cents. And then I'm thinking of looking for a run to the 200-day, maybe the 50-day at about 43.5 pennies. That's a nice move from 36 cents and jump up over 40. Percentage-wise, that's quite a nice move. We had quite a nice move today. Grateful for that. The star, well, this is the bellwether stock. Amazon, to me, is the bellwether. You can say Apple, you can say Google, Alphabet, you can say anything you want to say, but to me, Amazon is the bellwether. And the bellwether has been having its problems. Let's just take a look at the chart. I'm going to X out this one, and I'm going to X out that one. And this is a chart on Amazon where it looks like the 50-day crossed the 200, which we don't like. But notice the slant, the slope of the decline on the 50 is now look rounding out and looks like it's going to curve back up So I think this will be a short-lived cross. I don't think it's going to continue for much longer as Amazon is gathering momentum with a V-shaped recovery, just like we had in, what was it, CNAB? So yeah, I like this, the looks of this one. Amazon, I own Amazon, and I'm kicking myself why I didn't add a little bit at these lower levels. But I do like it, and it looks to me like it will cross. It already crossed the 50. I think it's going to cross the 200, and it might meet resistance right up about here at 1837. So my call for Amazon is a test of this 1837 area, or the highs on 9/12 of 1853, perhaps. So if it can get past the 50, you have this 1850 area that it's got to break. Once it breaks 1850, forget it. It's going to zoom, I mean, fly. So back to new highs pretty much, or maybe you got a little 2000-ish resistance, but I think it's clear sailing once you get past that 1850. A clean break of 1850, the 50 crossing back over to 200 and approaching the 100, and things will begin to look really, really great for Amazon as it goes into the Christmas season. I'm an Amazon fan. To me, Amazon is the Alex Bregman of the stock market. Alex Bregman. Who would have thought that I would have been saying the word name Alex Bregman? I mean, come on. A couple of years ago, there was no Alex Bregman. There was who was it? It was Bryce Harper, and who were the other big names? I don't know. But not Alex Bregman, but he was the hottest player in baseball for the last 2 months. So Alex Bregman of the stock market is Amazon, will be Amazon when it crosses back over to 200. And now let's look at the final chart that I have, Arcel. This is a tiny little biotech that's not so tiny anymore. It went from a 200 million market cap to 840 million market cap. It seems like almost in 2 seconds. Closing at 870 today. Let's take a look. All right. So we have a breakout. We have consolidation here. We have this trend line going down. We have this trend line from all the way back in August, beginning of August, going up. We have this triangle, clear triangle in here, and a break of that triangle today. This is a breakout stock. Where does it go from here? I don't know, but I told you I have position in almost everything I talk about. Well, I wish I had a position in this one. I've been watching it, mentioned it to everyone yesterday. I alerted everyone yesterday, but yesterday turned out to be too late as it opened up rather sharp. So I'm looking to buy on a pullback, but whenever I look to buy on a pullback, what happens? It just keeps going up. So I'm a little bit afraid that this may be a runaway stock to numbers that I have no idea. And I'm not even sure on what news it jumped. I couldn't find news. So, it's interesting. Do you want to play this as a breakout, or do you want to wait for a pullback, maybe as low as the $8 area? Personally, I don't have the stomach for day trading this thing. I think tomorrow is going to be a wild volume day on this little number. It's usually lightly traded, but let's see what the volume was today. The volume today was 459,000. And let's see how that looks on the volume chart. Doesn't look too high, but compared to the previous days, it's quite a lot of volume. Not a spike nearly, it isn't as big a spike as we had back here on the April 8th when it went to a high of 767 and hadn't busted that high until very recently. And that was really the tip-off. Once it busted this all-time high, then it was probably time to just jump in and not care at that point. I mean, I don't even know, like I said, I did look at the fundamentals, but I look at so many of them that I don't remember. I'm being honest, I don't remember what their drug is, but it's a tiny little biotech, and it's interesting. Avita Medical Limited is an interesting name. Okay, so let me go back to the camera just to remind you all to write a comment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, tell your friends, share the link, the usual stuff. I want to say sayonara, shalom, au revoir, arrivederci, and ciao. We got to get to that Yankee game. We got to win tonight with Tanaka on the mound. Good luck. Let's go Yankees. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Dr. J Spike and Friends. Same time, same station, 7:30 p.m. Ciao.